this kind of chimes with some of the stuff I've seen online very recently from FSE. FSE and supporters direct with its fans versus COVID-19. Could you talk us through that a little?
We had the feeling that there was a necessity to keep track of all of that. What is happening? Some groups would just be raising a few €100 to buy pizzas for medical staff, for the first responders. Others I've grouped to incredible proportions, and especially those that are raising funds for medical staff. So we felt the need to collect those, so that there's a trace somewhere that there's been a contribution from the fans to this crisis. And when we look at the clubs that have that realize their social responsibilities, the ones that were just mentioned by Nicola, that's one side of the coin. But a lot of other clubs, if we look throughout the whole continent, are not, let's say, putting a lot of efforts into engaging in social activities, in social responsibility activities at this time of crisis. And very often, if I look at my club, it's not in France, there's been a lot more work done by various fan groups than by the club itself. And that's the difficulty of a club whose priority is to send money to Luxembourg and Panama and not actually make a difference for the community around the club. So I think for a lot of fans, it was obvious that they had to do something. The structure is there, it exists, and people had nothing else to do. There's no game, there's no away game. So you better use the existing organization to do something good out of it. There was also, for some fans, a way to compensate the fact that their clubs wasn't doing anything in this crisis, and it's been working pretty well. So yeah, the contribution of fans to this crisis has been, I think, really huge, especially in some Western European countries. So Germany, Italy, France, England, Netherlands. At least that's where we've been listing most of them. Now, when the question about football being more important than life or death, this argument has been reused by some politicians, some people in football, the other way around. We've been told in England that will lift up the spirit of the nation. The same argument has been used in Germany. It's been used by some people in France as well, whose only interest was to get some cash in. So yeah, it's probably more important than life or death for a lot of people. But what we've seen also is that the majority of fans across Europe were very much ready to pause football. And the statements we've seen from national fan organization in the huge majority of them from Spain, from Germany, from Portugal, from France, the only request was to stop football. That there was no need to continue football in this time of crisis, and it was a matter of decency actually to stop the show. So yeah, it's a matter of life or death, but it's not a matter of life or death to be able to see a football game on TV or to go to the stadium, at least not.
It's a really good point, and I think that it's a really good point you raised, Ronan, and I think that quite quickly there was a turnaround in opinion, wasn't there? There was a quite rapid change from supporters feeling quite resistant to the idea of football matches being shut down, to actually then changing that view very quickly, kind of within the space of a week, as more public information became available. I wonder if FSE had a channel to try to take that forward to UEFA for those leagues. For instance, was it the Belarusian league that didn't cancel?
Yeah, that was the only one in the UEFA region. Well, the message we carried to UEFA was that everybody were ready to pause the European competition. So we're actually encouraging them to take a quick decision, because the faster the decision will be taken, the less impact it would have on match-going fans. So that was our message at that time. But as you say, it was a really quick turnaround. I think it's a matter of days or weeks between the time when PSG fans were outside of the stadium in Paris for the games against Dortmund, which, by the way, was perfectly legal at that time. It was sanctioned by the public authorities. And between that day and the one when everybody started to agree that football had to be paused and we needed to invest time and resources into supporting medical staff and all the solidarity actions, it was probably 5 to 7 days between those two events. So I think all the concerns expressed, especially in England, in UK, and in Germany, about fans gathering around the stadium on the days when there will be games behind closed doors, I don't think this is a serious risk, or this is likely to happen. There's, again, a very strong understanding of what's the social responsibility from a fan group, from the vast majority of us. So they're not going to put people at risk by calling them to gather around the stadiums on match day.